Hi, I'm Brett Hickey, founder and CEO of Star Mountain Capital. Today, we'd like to give thanks to all the veterans who have served us, including one of Star Mountain's senior advisors, Tom Tull, who is also the former Chief Investment Officer, Texas Employee Retirement System. Tom, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Brett. It really is a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So tell us, first of all, Tom, a little bit about your background in the military and how that has then helped develop your skills and leadership and some of the things that you really find valuable in taking and transitioning from military service into civilian life, and what are some key lessons? You also happen to have quite a few decades of investment experience as well. Give us some insights and some key things that you've learned.
Thanks, Brett. Again, a pleasure to be here. By way of background, I went into the military, the Army, at the age of 17. This was an interesting time. We had the Vietnam War going on, and I had just graduated from high school and very patriotic. Didn't have any money for college and wanted more control over my destiny. And during this period, we had the draft. So I enlisted, thanks for the signature from my parents, and served in a variety of locations. A year in Vietnam, a year in Korea, and a year at the JFK Warfare Center. So at that time, I was fortunate in being a platoon sergeant, and I picked up a lot of things in the process. Some of the strategies that are probably most comparable to Star Mountain's idea and values and mission and so far are one, it's important to have an alignment of interest of all concerned as a stakeholder. But most importantly, it's crucial to have trust. Trust is a relationship that you really establish and build over time. Another area would be accountability and taking ownership as a team and being accountable for the results, never prejudging. And finally, respect. Respect not only for those involved, but for those successful and unsuccessful. And I took these tenets and these points and have built on these over time in my career, not only at the Employees Retirement System in Texas, but also running a company, Gulfstream Global, many years ago, as well as working on the ERISA side. And it's something that you're constantly fine-tuning and developing over time. And the end result, you have a lot of successes. You have some areas where you're unsuccessful, but you build on those going forward.
That's great, Tom. First of all, as I sit with 3 children myself, and as you know, turned 46 this year, it's really commendable and almost hard to think about an era where people are being drafted and those type of things. It certainly puts into perspective challenges. As you know, I worked on the oil drilling rigs for a year when I graduated high school to pay for college, and that pales in comparison, in my opinion, to what you and others have done in really putting your lives in danger in that capacity on behalf of all of us. So once again, a real heartfelt thank you. And I think on today, on Veterans Day, I think it's important that we all reflect in the importance of that and appreciate and help. And hopefully, as business leaders, we all look at different ways that we can help give veterans opportunities to get involved in business, given all the talents and so forth that you see here, including with Tom. And Tom, if you're here to give perhaps one piece of advice to veterans and one other piece of advice to business owners, what would you lead to impart them with?
It's too difficult to come up with one. So let me throw a few in.
Even better.
And most importantly, I think you have to earn respect to get respect in this world. And know your team, whether it's a platoon, partners, clients, stakeholders, and help them succeed. And at the end of the day, you'll succeed. Also, understand the rules of engagement. And there's written rules and there's unwritten rules. The written is really your chain of command. And Vietnam, those of you who were involved, there were different rules that you had to abide by. And these were the written rules. And we were advisors, and you had to go along with the the way these were structured. But there are always unwritten rules, and these are people power, culture, relative competitive strengths, and weaknesses. And these are crucial to be aware of. Another would be willing to adapt to the changing dynamics of the situation and be willing to make a decision, as painful as it may seem at the time. There's always going to be consequences, good and bad. Enjoy the good and learn how to deal with the bad, and definitely don't take it personally. And then finally, lead by example. Have integrity and honor. Listen, learn. Final thoughts would be, words of wisdom: don't bleed until you're shot, and two, don't be one who's guilty of having a solution seeking a problem. Well, so with that, just to conclude, I'd definitely like to wish many thanks and gratitude for those with us, as well as those in memory of whom have served our country as patriots toward a better life. Thank you.
Well said, Tom. That was awesome. Thank you again for your service and your time, and we're certainly very appreciative on behalf of all the stakeholders and shareholders of Star Mountain Capital for you being an aligned senior advisor with us as an investor, and with your carry helping bring wisdom to our team and our portfolio companies to help create value in alignment. Thank you for your service once again, and thank you all for all the veterans out there for everything you have done and do for us, and to the families that have supported and are part of the veterans community as well. Thank you all for your extended service.